Hi, I'm Dr. Syra,
And I'm Faison.
and we wanted to take a couple minutes to tell you a little bit about relationship styles. So this applies to relationships with authority figures, relationships with your kids, but most importantly, this applies to relationships with your better half, partner.
And sometimes I'm not the better half.
Sometimes, no.
Well, so it's how do you actually deal with this supposed partner and make it work, right? Like, I mean, you have to live your day-to-day life with this person. You have to be able to talk to this person. You have to be able to connect with this person and share your deepest secrets, your deepest thoughts, sometimes your deepest hatreds, right? And you have to talk about all these things with the partner.
I don't know.
Well,
he makes it sound pretty bad, hey? Like, you have to talk about all this stuff. Yeah, but it's at home is when we take off that mask and we actually have space and time and energy to just be who we are. And sometimes that means who we are is angry, and sometimes that means who we are is irritable. But there's what we're going to teach you will actually help you see what you do in relationship and how your style is actually contributing to the success or challenges in your relationship. So.
Right, and one of the things we talk about is this mask that we put on. We put on this mask to show the world, oh, look at how generous this person is, right? Like somebody can look at me and say, wow, this person's so generous, this person's so giving, this person's so in service to other people. Yet when I come home, I might be the angry father or the angry husband, and just, I guess this term we call rageaholic, because at home, our masks are off. This is personal, right? This isn't like, oh, I have to put this on to be out there and this is what I need to talk about. No, this is me now. This is me, right? So there's no masks at home. My kid sees who I am, my wife sees who I am, and how do you actually move forward and accept this person?
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so we want to demonstrate to you the three kinds of relationships that we found when we're doing work with couples, and in our own relationship, we've been through these phases and stages. So the first phase and stage would be what we call the dependent scenario. So that's where one person, I'll be the dependent guy.
Oh wow.
That's where one person is totally leaning in and totally, dependent. So if he lets go, I'm gonna fall. The challenge with dependent relationships is that the person who's not the dependent person feels a lot of pressure, a lot of burden, maybe irritation. At times they might want to walk away just to see you fall, right? Because they're just, it's tiring to constantly be holding someone up and making them feel good.
And the person who's being dependent upon, in this case, in this scenario, was me. Sometimes you do want to walk away and just to show, look how important I am, right? So there's this tug of war going between both parties. Oh, I need you. Well, let me show you how much you need me.
Right. So. And for the dependent person, it's this constant feeling of neediness and wanting and never being enough. Like nothing's ever enough, and it's almost like we have a hole in our container. Like if we're trying to catch the love, it's like there's these big holes and the love's just pouring out through the holes. So it's we're never really feeling fulfilled. We're never really feeling like we have our partner 100%. Okay, ready for the next one?
Oh yeah, this is the one I love.
So this one is the independent. This is when two partners are in independent relationship style. So this is what it looks like.
Hey,
Hey,
yeah,
how's it going?
Yeah. Sounds fun.
Sounds fun. I'm living my life, he's living his life. That's how a lot of people date, right? So it's like, you're doing your thing, I'm doing my thing. Every so often we're like, hey, how's it going, right? But the challenge with that is that there's very few opportunities for deep and lasting connection, because it's like you're just passing each other, randomly. Maybe you'll connect, maybe you won't. It's very hard to parent when this is happening. Have you ever had that experience, parents, where something's happening with your kid and you're just like, you're trying to tie down your husband or your wife to say, hey, by the way, this is going on, but the other person's just like, they're la 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 in their own world. So that's the challenge with independence in relationships.
And when there is something that happens in a relationship, and in our case, it was a child being born. And if you're an independent person, if you're independent people in a relationship, and this child is born, now this child needs both parents, right? And then it can actually, if you're not aware, it can lead to resentment. And that's a very, I mean, we see it all the time with couples is we see this resentment that shows up because they're so independent. They've been independent their whole life. Even the beginning of their relationship was in independence. And all of a sudden now you need to actually tie yourself down to a child, to this family, and you're like, and you're fighting it.
Yeah. And it can cause a lot of kind of tension in the relationship when both people are trying to do their own thing and there's something in common that you have to kind of commit to. So neither of those really works. I mean, they work for the short term, but for the long term they don't really work. So here is your third option, which is hopefully a better option for you. So this is what we call equality. So that's where he's connecting with me, he's with me, but he's not depending on me, and I'm doing the same. And we're actually here, we're showing up, but we're not overly into each other.
Yeah, and it doesn't mean like you have to walk like this all the time. Right? This is not what this relationship is supposed to be like.
But it's like a dance,
yeah,
right?
It's supposed to be,
we can dance,
right.
and we can enjoy.
And you're supposed to be able to just walk together. And if you do have to go apart, like me off the camera, if you do have to go apart, it's how do you actually come, like, are you willing to come back still, right? If I do have to go do something, am I willing to come back right into this relationship and be connected and feel like, you know what, I actually never left.
Mm-hmm. Right. So those are our thoughts for you on relationships. We're actually we're coming to you live from one of our workshops. We're just on a break, and we wanted to include you in this workshop, invite you to our future workshops. The next one's coming up in June 2nd. June 2nd on acceptance, and they're running through the whole year. So keep watching, keep reading, keep tuning in, and hopefully we'll see you out at one of our events.
Okay, take care.
Take care. See you next time.